Hey, Andrew Werley here with Anchorway Church, and I took a little hike out my back door up Emerald Mountain to gain some perspective and context for our next series at Anchorway. We'll be looking this year at the sermons of Jesus found in the book of Matthew. There's 5 of them, but specifically what I want to talk to you about today is the Sermon on the Mount, where we'll start in Matthew chapter 5. And there's not a lot of mountains like we have here in the Rockies, in the area of Galilee where Jesus was camped out for this part of his ministry. But there are small mountains, and it's on one of these small mountains that Jesus finds himself climbing up. And he has so many followers at this point in his ministry, very early on in his ministry. They kind of fill this mountainside, this beautiful mountainside that overlooks probably the Sea of Galilee, and would have been very picturesque and beautiful. And he sits down and addresses them. There's some significance that happens at the very beginning of this sermon, and it's worth saying here, so it remains a context for the entire series. But when Jesus gets up to give the Sermon on the Mount, many commentators and scholars, including Jewish and Christian, say that Jesus is standing on this mountain representing Moses, representing a new Moses, a new way, a fulfillment of the way, if you will, that Moses came to give to the people of Israel from Mount Sinai. Well, Mount Sinai, Moses comes and he gives the people the 10 Commandments, if you're familiar with that part of the Old Testament. But before they get the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai to the people of Israel, something else significant happens, and that is God draws them from slavery in Egypt and makes them his people. They're already his people. They've already been pre-chosen before time to be his people, but at this point they are picked from slavery. They are redeemed from slavery. They are saved from slavery and made the people of God. And then they hear from the prophet Moses on Mount Sinai how to follow God. And that's exactly what Jesus is doing with the Sermon on the Mount. He has already chosen us. He has already redeemed us through the cross. He's not yet in the fulfillment of the text, but you know what I mean. He's already done everything that needs to be done. He's going to accomplish everything that needs to be done to redeem us. What the Sermon on the Mount is the way that we follow him. It's how we follow him. It's not a way to earn our salvation or to earn our way to follow him. It's a way to follow him because we have been redeemed by our great Savior, Jesus. And so he's on this mountain and he gives this incredible talk on how to follow him. And the first chapter 5, which we'll be focusing on for quite a few weeks, is all about what I will call the citizenship of the kingdom. What it means to be citizens of Jesus's kingdom, and he is our king. And so he gives us instruction and wisdom and shares with us what it means to be blessed in this kingdom and the complete turn that this kingdom has compared to the kingdom that we live in, this earth, this world that we have now. So it's a fascinating chapter. I hope you can join us for this very important book when it comes to being a faithful follower of Jesus. Thanks for listening.